start off, the book The Tipping Point discussed both of its rules, such as the law of the few and the stickiness factor, which can be connected to the characters of Judge Danforth and Nick Carraway. In The Crucible by Arthur Miller, we see the stickiness factor applied from The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell, with the use of the character Judge Danforth. According to Gladwell, the stickiness factor refers to a unique quality that compelled the phenomenon to stick in the minds of the public and influence their future behavior. Judge Danforth in The Crucible has helped to promote the stickiness factor because he refers to the unique qualities of the community of Salem, which is their religion, and the church, which is strongly rooted in Salem, Massachusetts during 1692. And he made the use of the stickiness factor to make people think that witchcraft would ruin their church and hurt their religion. When Danforth connects witchcraft to the well-being of the church and the community, it causes it to be a factor that would stick in many people's minds at the time due to the lack of education that they had during the 1600s, because many people thought the use of witchcraft would harm their community and hurt their religion, but in reality, it wouldn't have done anything to harm their religious values. On the other hand, this amount of stickiness makes it easier to promote Judge Danforth's radical thoughts on some people he presumed to be witches, due to the fact that he took control of the stickiness factor, and with the amount of power he had, many people tended to believe what he said even if it wasn't true, because at this time the community needed a sense of leadership. This picture represents a person leading others forward to believe their ideas, which related to Judge Danforth because his ideas played a crucial role in making this witch trial prominent in Salem by leading the community to his ideas, which made it even more sticky and made more people believe it. This image represents a happy community and then a community in distress, which is what the stickiness factor can do to a community if the phenomenon is bad, and Danforth helped to extend the factor and made it even more sticky due to his political influence. This image represents a girl being falsely accused by people. This image can connect to Judge Danforth because it represents how he was able to manipulate the stickiness factor, since he believed that the witches attacked the unique quality of their community, which was their religion, so this made many falsely accuse someone of being a witch. Lastly, this image displays a person controlling another person's brain, which represents how Danforth uses the stickiness factor to manipulate the community of Salem's behaviors towards the witches, which ends up to be quite violent behaviors in the end. In The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald, we see the law of the few and the archetype of the connector used thoroughly throughout this book, as discussed in The Tipping Point. The law of the few was used by Nick Carraway in the text because his personality helped to connect people with others, such as him helping Gatsby invite Daisy over for tea. This describes Nick as a connector because he helps to connect Daisy and Gatsby. Through reconnecting them, he helped to rekindle their love for each other, which leads them to getting back together behind closed doors. Additionally, Nick is also a connector because he helps introduce Gatsby to Tom Buchanan by giving him background information about him. Nick also uses his powers as a connector in order to help the lives of his friends and family. In The Tipping Point, Gladwell discusses that connectors have a foot in multiple worlds, which perfectly describes Nick Carraway because he has both of his feet in different social groups, such as the old money, which are the families like the Buchanans, and the new money, which are the people like Gatsby. This picture depicts a person getting a job, which connects back to Nick because he is a connector and he's able to develop opportunities faster than some, such as when Gatsby gave him a job opportunity due to him connecting Gatsby and Daisy. This picture depicts a person in the center connected to multiple people, which can be seen as Nick being connected with different social groups like the old money group and the new money group. This pic represents how Nick helped to reconnect Gatsby and Daisy by planning for them to have tea, which this picture depicts someone making a plan like Nick did to help out Gatsby. In this image, it depicts a happy couple. This can be related to Nick because he was able to help people get into relationships due to his connections, such as Gatsby and Daisy's relationship.